is a district in South Delhi. Many Africans live here, though not as many as a year and a half ago. Then groups of local vigilantes carried out raids, making blanket allegations of drug dealing and prostitution. There were violent clashes. That created an atmosphere of intimidation. David Yesefu, one of few willing to be filmed, has been here for over 4 years.
No, it's not that easy because those people living around this area, they are not friendly. They are not friendly at all, so it's very, very difficult for me to bear with them.
Tony Akuna is a regular customer here. He's been living in Delhi for 2 years, studying economics. He's happy with his education, but he says casual racism makes everyday life difficult and unpleasant.
If you go to some places like a Cyber Cafe, they say, no, I don't accept black. Just for no reason.
Many other African migrants have experienced similar problems. One suggestion of why Indians distrust African migrants shocked Tony. His friends at university told him about the wild theory.
They were saying like most of the Indians, like they see black people as people that eat, like they eat someone, I don't know. Yeah, they eat their fellow human beings.
If people find common ground, a passion for food, for example, they can talk to each other, make a connection. The divides and preconceptions can slowly disappear. Yet here, most African migrants remain inside their parallel world because the hostility they face outside is frightening. David wants to stay a few more years. He sends money home to his wife and sons in Nigeria, but he's certain that relatively soon he'll go back to join them.
On January 29, 2014, a young guy, Nido Tanya from Arunachal, was beaten to death in the Lajpat Nagar market of Delhi. The reason? He looked simply different. A couple of years later, two similar but parallel incidents took place. Two young guys from Mizoram were beaten in Bangalore. Two students from Nagaland were brutally tortured for hours by local men in Gurgaon to simply teach them a lesson that you don't belong here. What's terrifying is their intent. They chopped off one of their hair and said, if you tribal people from the Northeast come here, we will kill you. A few years later, my friends and I were denied an entry into a hotel in Jaipur just because we didn't look Indian enough. A group of students from Assam on their trip to the Taj Mahal were asked to prove their nationality through their passports, and some of them even made to sing national anthem. A girl from Manipur was harassed by an immigration official at Delhi's airport, asking her, "Tum Indian to nahi dikhti ho. You don't look Indian enough." He also wanted to test her of her Indianness by asking how many states comprised India and what were the neighboring states of Manipur. Now, what is this racism?
is Delhi after that whole incident we saw with the Ugandan women becoming an increasingly intolerant city, a city that is becoming increasingly racist? These are some questions that we need to ask ourselves tonight. Veena Lakshmi, you were shaking your head there. Why? Because you've been talking about the systematic, in a sense, discrimination that students from the Northeast and young people from the Northeast face in the national capital.
I mean, the sequence of events is for everyone to see. We have been national media picked up after we were tweeting it constantly throughout the day. We were shocked that none of the national media base in Delhi did not cover this event in which this young boy, Nido Tiniam from Arunachal, was beaten to death. What I would like to say in this little program is that, like Mr. Nidong Iring said, that he will not call it outrightly as a racist attack. For us, I want the politicians, the lawmakers of this country, to recognize for once that there is a systematic racial attack against people, young people, men and women of the Northeast. Last year, Rangamfi was killed in her own flat in Chirag, Delhi, 29th May 2000. Dana Sangma was killed, died in mysterious death in Amity near Delhi. Richard Loitam was beaten to death in Bangalore. Hongre died in Munirka, just a few kilometers from here, again in one of the killings which happened to the women of Northeast. A young boy in 2008 was thrown off his second-floor rented room by the landlord's son in Safdarjung Enclave area. So it is time that India wakes up to the reality that there is racism in this country, all across the country. Xenophobia in this country, to say this land is mine, this area is mine. Nido Tiniam's killing is a byproduct of the systematic violence which is really made serious because our policymakers have failed even after 6-7 years of independence to recognize that we need to let the issues of the Northeast, even the fact we have been campaigning for, including the history of Northeast India in the Indian syllabus, has not been done, which means the history and the culture of 45 million Indians is not coming out.
But you use strong words there, and I'm...
ये क्या है? ये क्या है? ये क्या है? क्या है? आप कौन है? आप कौन है आप? बकवास करो ज़्यादा ही।
में कौन है साथ में आपके? हेलो, आपके साथ में है यहाँ कोई? साथ में है कोई यहाँ? कोई साथ में आया है यहाँ? आपका मकसद क्या है ये बताओ आप? ईश्वर है ना, राम है बस, और कोई ईश्वर नहीं है। ये यहाँ क्रिश्चियन मिशनरीज हैं जो इधर आना चाह रहे हैं।
It's the unending shame for the whole country, the unending shame for the whole country, the unending shame for the whole country.
And brutally assaulting a woman near a salon in a posh Ahmedabad neighborhood has prompted the police to register a case of sexual harassment and violently causing hurt. The police have reached out to the woman who is from the Northeast and
some issue that spa owner has raised a certain question about her and one other co-worker. So because of the co-worker, they both have fighted. There have been roughly argument between both of them, and then after she was beaten by the spa owner. It was, according to her, this was the person has also asked for the apology, and that's why she didn't give the complaint at that time. But police has requested her to give the complaint, so that's why she has filed the complaint right now. And now police is searching for the spa owner Mohsin, and he will be arrested soon.
U.S. as well as, I believe, British, the U.K. have issued warnings specifically to women, cautioning them not to travel alone in India.
Made exactly because the grounds given here was that India was a rape capital of the world. Therefore, admission was refused. India was a rape capital of the world. India was a rape capital of the world.
We're looking right there at the U.S. travel advisory for people traveling to India.
The Indian government launched an ad campaign titled "I Respect Women," fearing the country's lucrative tourism industry could be at risk. But as the latest alleged attack shows, women in India continue to be targets of sexual assault.
नहीं तो ये रियली बहुत ज़्यादा ये मतलब गंभीर बात है और इसमें तो मुझे लगता है कि इंडियन एम्बेसी को भी इन्वॉल्व होना चाहिए क्योंकि भाई ऐसे तो हमारे रिलेशन अच्छे नहीं हो सकते ना जबकि हम तो इंडिया में बैठ के ये मानते हैं कि इंडिया और साउथ कोरिया के रिलेशन बड़े अच्छे हैं, दोनों एक दूसरे का ख्याल रखते हैं, वहाँ के लोग एक दूसरे से मिलते जुलते हैं और मैंने कई सारे साउथ कोरियन चैनल्स भी देखे हैं जहाँ पे इंडिया को लेकर बड़ी अच्छी पॉजिटिव बातें कही जाती हैं, इंडियंस के बारे में बड़ा पॉजिटिव कहा जाता है, लेकिन उसके बाद भी इस तरह का बिहेवियर ये तो मतलब ये बर्दाश्त करने वाला नहीं है और इसको तो अपोज भी करना चाहिए, इसको सामने भी लाना चाहिए और इस पर कोई ना कोई एक्शन जरूर लेना चाहिए।
सर एग्जैक्टली
So it was very painful, very painful. So it was very painful, very painful. So it was very painful, very painful. So it was very painful, very painful.
설빙처럼 포장해 주는데? 뭐야? 이건 뭐야? 아이씨. 뒤질래? 뭐야? 이건 뭐야? 아이씨. 뒤질래? 너 뭐라 했어? 내 야, 칭칭포? 너 비하했지 너 지금? 어? 놀러 와봐. 칭칭포? 놀러 와봐. 이 새끼가 이씨. 칭칭포? 일로 와.
चाइना कैमरा आपको गोजू भी
때려 왜 때려?
आपको गोजू आपको गोजू ये चाइना from any it was good
뭐라고요?
hey oh you're China hey oh you're China
I'm from Korea.
China
And you're Pakistan.
no you're Pakistan you're
Not China. I'm not China.
you're China this one
So I'm not China.
you're China this one
I'm not China.
you're China this one
ये तो क्लियरली रेसिज्म का मामला था। तो क्या आपने वहां पर जो वहां पे आसपास लोग थे, किसी ने आपकी हेल्प नहीं की कि भाई ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए?
किसी ने भी नहीं करी।
I just want everyone to know that you cannot normalize racism anymore. That time's up.
It's kind of part of life here. You will see these verbal fights happening when you're here in India. Or maybe I've just spent too much time in Haryana, hey nah? Now,
what is the most racist country ever? First we have Philippines with a racist rate of 31%. Next is Libya, 54% of people don't want other races. Followed by Bahrain with 31% racism. Lebanon is on number 2 with a score of 36%. And the most racist country in the world is India with a total score of 43% people who don't want other races.
Hapsi, Benki,
Hapsi,
Benchu, Pagal,
Bandaria, Kutta, Kalia, Pagal,
Chutia, monkeys.
먹는 거잖아 또. 엄청 더러워 보이는 물에서. 와, 세수까지 열심히. 야, 나도 세수 안 했는데 여기서 해봐? 하면 바로 물갈이. 빌라. 오, 빌라 레거시. 여기 있다. 찾았다.
Is my phone number and my booking ID. Is application for trip. Is it here? 왜 이렇게 뭔가 좀 이상하지? It's here. Yes, 한결채. Is me.
This hotel is not international persons allowed.
So
you
I cannot live in here.
Order is booking. Transport to other hotel.
Another hotel.
Another hotel. For another hotel transfer.
This hostel is for only India.
Indian. Only Indian person. I am Indian. You are not Indian.
So I don't understand because I pay already. And where is my money?